Good morning and welcome to May Day. Today is Workers' Day and of course it's being celebrated by workers all over the world, and Nigeria joins in the celebration today to commemorate Workers' Day. And my name is Winifred Ugbebo, your host on the program is Shofis. So good to be here hosting you on today's program, Thursday, May 1st. 2025. My name is Winifred Ugbebo. We are looking at what the papers are saying. There's no doubt that the papers are talking about today's Workers' Day. Let's go first to Leadership newspaper and see the leading story. Leadership newspaper, May Day 2025 edition. It says, May Day, Tinubu has failed to renew our hope. May Day, Tinubu has failed to renew our hope. Say we are hungry, getting poorer. Want federal government to implement policies with human face. Today's May Day publication of Leadership newspaper. As to be expected, today's May Day, of course, papers will be discussing the workers' plight and the way forward. Leadership today says, May Day, Tinubu has failed to renew our hope, coming from workers to whom today is dedicated to. Still on Leadership newspaper, there are other papers gracing the cover. We have My Hope in APC Imminent. Governor Eno declares. Governor Eno is the governor of Akwa Ibom State. And just shortly, in a newspaper we have on our lineup that also has that as its main cover, Governor Eno moves to dictate to APC. However, still on Leadership, U.S. tariffs hit output in Chinese factories. CDS unveils military holding company. Bauchi Kebbi begin airlift of pilgrims May 9. And towards the masthead of Leadership, presidency orders crack down over student loan fraud. Is a developing story. A paper reported that some varsities are making some deductions from student loans, and the presidency orders crack down over student loan fraud. On the business boss of Leadership newspaper, this May Day, now around 21 billion naira helicopter drones, fake drugs intercepted at Apapa port. 921 billion naira helicopter drones, fake drugs intercepted at Apapa port. Let's see some excerpts from that story. The Comptroller General of the Nigerian Customs Service (NCS) Adewale Adeniyi on Tuesday announced the interception of helicopter drones, fake, expired and unregistered pharmaceuticals at Apapa Port, Lagos. The contraband, valued at over 921 billion naira, also includes expired food items and other controlled security equipment such as drones and walkie-talkies. Details of the seizure include 89 cartons of unregistered pharmaceutical products, 242 cartons of pharmaceutical items, and 1,001 cartons of hydrocyanide citrate tablets. Another 40-foot container was found to contain 1,400 packages of various unregistered drugs, while a fifth had 805 packages falsely declared as cosmetic powder. The story continues on page 8 of Leadership newspaper. Today's May Day publication. Now around 21 billion naira helicopter drones, fake drugs intercepted at Apapa port. And from there, we move to the masthead of Leadership. And today's May Day. Today, incidentally, is also the posthumous birthday of the late founding chairman of Leadership newspaper limited, Sam Ndazaya. And one of his columns he was running on this table on the Leadership today has "How Endangered Are We?" is a column that still runs through today. Sam Dazaya's family, friends, and leadership staff mark his posthumous 63rd birthday anniversary today. His legacy inspires us, and his memory lingers on in our minds. As we remember him today, we share with our readers a slightly edited version of one of his numerous commentaries on Nigeria published in his column, The Last Word of which the studio, Leadership Podcast Studio, is named after in August 2008. In a recent United States intelligence report, the authors feared for the continuous existence of Nigeria as we know it today in the coming years. This commentary continues on page 32 of Leadership newspaper. How endangered are we? One of the commentaries by the late founding chairman of Leadership Media Group. From that cover, we move over to the page 3 of the paper where we have our stand. Today's stand is on Is Workers' Day Really? Is a story. Today's stand is asking on our stand. As Nigeria marks Workers' Day today, the celebrations ring hollow for millions of ordinary citizens who continue to bear the brunt of economic reforms without adequate protection. While the federal government last year formally approved the implementation of the 70,000 naira new minimum wage for federal public servants, a 133% increase from the previous 30,000 naira, this apparent victory for labor masks a troubling reality that demands urgent attention from both government and society at large. The cruel irony facing Nigerian workers today cannot be overstated. Those who keep the wheels of the economy turning through their daily toil find themselves bearing the disproportionate burden of policies aimed at long-term economic growth. We move towards the conclusion of today's stand. It says, additionally, tax reforms must ensure that workers' gains are not immediately clawed back through excessive taxation. The current situation where, as NLC President Ajero noted, the tax on your salary is almost higher than the minimum wage increase, negates any real progress and breeds cynicism among those the increase are meant to help. As we celebrate Workers' Day, let us reflect on the sacrifices and contributions of Nigeria's labor force. But let us also commit to doing better, to creating an economic system that rewards hard work with fair compensation, to enacting policies that prioritize the needs of the working class, and to building a society where no one who toils diligently is left behind. For too long, Nigerian workers have borne the burdens of economic reform without reaping its promised rewards. It is time to change that narrative to ensure that the engines of progress lift all boats, not just those of the privileged few. These are excerpts today from today's leadership's stand. Today's stand is on Workers' Day. It says, Workers' Day really? Is a question. Today's stand is asking on Workers' Day. From our stand, we move over to the back page of Leadership, where we have Thursday column with Being Blunt with Muazu Elize. Okay. We have the last word, how endangered are we, on the back page. It's still a continuation of one of the commentaries by the late founding chairman, publisher of Leadership newspaper, Sam Ndazaya. He asks, how endangered are we? The back page continues. It actually started from the cover of Leadership, where it flowed to the back page of the paper. From that commentary, we move over to, we still have Being Blunt with Elize, Muazu Elize, and he asks, how should the INEC chairman emerge? The question also, how should the INEC chairman emerge? Being Blunt with Muazu Elize, it takes the back underneath the commentary by later Sam Dazaya. Before we leave the back page, you must not fail to go to Ghana Must Go. Today's Ghana Must Go is on news. Aisha Chimogu arrested by EFCC starts hunger strike. And Ghana Must Go asks, she wants food item. Well, it's on that note we conclude review of Leadership newspaper this Thursday. For more, don't forget to log into the website of Leadership newspaper. We move over to the next paper we have on our lineup this Thursday, and that is Nigerian Tribune. Let's have Nigerian Tribune now, screen. Let's move on. Before we have Nigerian Tribune, we'll move over to Nigerian Tribune. Let's have sorry, we'll have the Punch newspaper. Let's have the Punch. Mayday push, Labour demands wage review to ease cost of living crisis. Mayday push, Labour demands wage review to ease cost of living crisis. NAS to address workers' concerns. Labour rejects 70,000 naira pay over rising inflation orders. Leading story today on the Punch in view of Mayday celebration. Above the masthead of the Punch newspaper, Cybers resumes operations despite set ban. 1.2 trillion naira EFCC probe. 3 judges suspended as NJC voids imo-acting CJ's appointment. Just beside the masthead of the Punch newspaper, Wike fires back at Atiku Dele Momodu over zoning comments. Wike fires back at Atiku Dele Momodu over zoning comment. The story continues on page 42 of the Punch newspaper. And just beneath that leading story, Tinubu Obasanjo. Wow, I'm finding it good to see. From the Punch newspaper for continuation of the headline stories on the Punch newspaper today. Don't forget to log on to the website of the Punch for continuation of those headline stories. From the Punch, we move over to Nigerian Tribune. Nigerian Tribune says top Nigerian leaders set to host national political summit. Issues relating to constitutional democracy to be discussed. Ayanku to inaugurate Awolowo Dosunmu Tambuwa Daniel. Fayemi orders as convening committee members today. These are kickers to the leading story of Nigerian Tribune. Top Nigerian leaders set to host national political summit. Issues relating to constitutional democracy to be discussed. Ayanku to inaugurate Awolowo Dosunmu Tambuwa Daniel. Fayemi orders as convening committee members today. Akwa Ibom governor speaks in parables, suggests he may be leaving PDP. Also leading story in previous paper we read earlier. Cybers EFCC declares foreigner wanted. Court orders EFCC to release Achimugu. Afrima 2025, Lagos ready to host Africa, Sanwo-Olu declares. ACF says not too strategic to be ignored. Macban, MBF disagree over visit to US ambassador. RP court opposed conviction of Professor Okban for electoral fraud. These are headline stories today on Nigerian Tribune. Don't forget to log into the website of Nigerian Tribune for continuation of those headline stories. Meanwhile, we head over to Blueprint newspaper and next paper for review. Customs intercepts 912 billion naira contrabands, high-tech drones, medicals. Customs intercepts 912 billion naira contrabands, high-tech drones, medicals. Expired food items, orders to a kicker to that leading story. And of course, we move over to the leading story, main leading story, gracing the cover of Blueprint. NLC to federal government at Mayday, review policy reforms, amend laws on civic engagement. Ajadi wants government to improve citizens' purchasing power. Tesla workers upbeat, Tinubu on Garment Development Board. Pilgrims with 60,000 naira SR must make customs declaration, Saudi government, Saudi Riyadh. Pilgrims with 60,000 Saudi Riyadh must make customs declaration, Saudi government. 2027 campaign and get sacked, Diri warns appointees. NDIC clinches third at public service innovation competition. Both mishaps, minister distributes 42,000 life jackets across 12 states. Ologbodiyan fears implosion as Eno hints at dumping PDP. Governor likens party to 40 aircraft. Ologbodiyan, former PDP spokesperson, fears implosion as Eno hints at dumping PDP. Governor likens party to 40 aircraft. Leading story in the papers we have on our lineup today. NNPCL Cavitin Stenenberg JV will ensure revenue retention. Lokobiri. GT Bank raises SMS alert fee from 4 naira to 6 naira. And in sports, Osimhen donates 10 million naira to Remo Stars for historic MPFL title win. And lastly, on the cover of Blueprint newspaper, federal government targets efficiency in MDAs with sweeping reforms coming from the Minister of Information and Orientation, Idris. Now we conclude, on that note, we conclude review of front headline stories on Blueprint newspaper this Thursday. Let's head up to the next paper we have on our lineup, and that is This Day. This day's leading story is on Eno's likely defection. And it says Eno alludes to imminent defection, says PDP will soon grind to a halt. Eno alludes to imminent defection, says PDP will soon grind to a halt. Likens party to a 40 plane unfit to fly. Baraje, time to move on. Defection overflowed. Koshuedo assumes office as acting national secretary. Leading story today on This Day. We move towards the masthead, where they also have the issue of May Day today discussed. However, before that, Tinubu, Obasanjo, Jonathan, Atiku, Obi, Dangote, Adesina, others extolate Adebanjo. May Day, Akpabio, Atiku hail Nigerian workers, say they are engine propelling the nation. The story is on page 43 of This Day. May Day, Akpabio, Atiku hail Nigerian workers, say they are engine propelling the nation. And above that, we have Trump's tariffs. US GDP shrinks to 0.3% from 2.4% in first quarter, though tumbles 400 points. Trump blames Biden for weak economic growth. European markets cut losses, close higher. That also concludes review of one headline stories on This Day newspaper this Thursday. For more, don't forget to log into the website of This Day newspaper, www.thisdaylive.com. Well, viewers, is on that note we conclude today's May Day edition of Newspaper Review, brought to you on Leadership Television. My name is Onifani Gobo. Don't forget, same time, same station. Tomorrow is another program. Don't forget to join us then. Stay tuned and thanks for joining us.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.